Today on Primetime Local News, I'm joined by Darcy Warner. He is the Executive Director of Insurance with the Saskatchewan Crop Insurance Corporation. Now, farmers have had a really tough year in regards to feed and the drought. The last thing farmers need right now is wildlife damaging their feed, but Darcy, SCIC does have coverage plans for that.
Yeah, so our wildlife damage compensation program provides 100% compensation on any damage caused by wildlife. So that would be for winter feed, stack feed in yards. It also covers for market gardens and mini orchards, so orchards that people have on their farms. So producers don't need to be existing customers of Saskatchewan Crop Insurance to register claims. So this is a compensation program provided by Canada and Saskatchewan. You should, as soon as you notice the damage to your stacked bales, you need to notify crop insurance. Our program starts from the time the damage is reported to us, so it's not a retroactive program. So the compensation for damage for bales stacked is in place as long as reasonable prevention measures are taken. So part of the work that we do when our adjusters come out to the farm, they will suggest things that a producer could do to prevent this loss or to minimize the loss that's occurring. And we expect producers to follow up on that. If there's a cost attributed to that, for the most part, it's paid for by Saskatchewan Crop Insurance or by the wildlife program. But producers are liable for or responsible for the cost of the labor. So an example that might be if you have a herd of elk coming into your bales in your yard, we can assist with either temporary fencing that could be put up for this year. And then we might suggest that you put up a high wire game fence around your stackyard. And if that's the case, we would provide compensation for the materials to build that fence, but it would be the producer's responsibility to put the fence up and to maintain it. So producers won't be compensated for unstacked bales if they're in the field. So the bales have to be in a place where they could be protected if those prevention measures could be put into place. The one exemption to that might be if you were using bales in an alternate feeding system. So if you had a fence around, you're going to feed your livestock out on the fields and you have those bales staged out there, that would be a different example. So the adjusters can help out with that. But in those cases, you just have to make sure you let us know ahead of time before you put your livestock in there, so that we can come out and establish how much production's on that field. And then that would start your claim and we could pay for any damage that occurred after that.
And I know it could vary, but how long would a claim process take?
Yeah, with stacked forage, it ends up being a pretty long process because the animals will feed there all winter if the prevention measures don't keep them out. So, lots of times those claims will start now. When we get some snow and some cold temperatures, then the wildlife will start coming into the yards, and they'll stretch out lots of times until we get into March or when the fields start to get some bare spots. So that claim could be ongoing for from December till March. And we make sure we'll get out there a few times over the winter to check in and see how it's going on the farm. So the adjusters would visit that farm a few times over the winter to help where they can.
And where can producers look for more information about this?
Yeah, so you could call our local office for sure. So we have 21 customer service offices across the province, so they can phone their local office. Or our webpage has some really good information on there. It's scic.ca.
That was all the questions that I had prepared. Is there anything else that you'd like to add?
Yeah, one thing, if I could, last summer with the drought that was going on in Saskatchewan, the Canada and Saskatchewan put together an agri-recovery program. So it's for immediate relief for livestock producers. So producers don't have to be enrolled in our crop insurance programs again. It's funding is provided. We're administering the program, but it's provided by Saskatchewan and Canada. So that initiative consists of 2 payments. The total for both payments is $200 a head for any eligible female breeding cattle. And then we have an adjustment. So we do an equivalency for other types of livestock. So there's other types of livestock that would be covered, but they wouldn't be at a 1, if you would. So it might not be $200 for a goat, for instance. So we just want to remind producers that if they've already applied for payment 1, which lots of people have, the second payment application has to be done as well. So there's 2 parts to that. So there would have been like $100 that got paid when the program was announced last summer, and the other $100 can be paid now if they complete that application.
Yeah, that's a good reminder for producers. Darcy, thank you so much for your time today.
You bet, Jillian. Thank you.